What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode number 4 of this season 2 Let's Play Career Mode on Expert series. We're heading to the beautiful circuit of Shanghai in China, but judging by the palm trees, we're still in Malaysia here in the paddock, so we're just gonna scoot over and magically jet over to Shanghai as soon as we click that. But first, let's check out the standings. Just a mere 2 points behind Mr. Eyebrows. Rosberg 3rd, Massa 4th, the McLaren boys 5 and 6. And Vettel only in 7, and the Aussie bastard, our nemesis from last season, only 14 points down in P9. So it's shaping up to be quite an interesting season. The AI mod and especially the rain in the last 2 races have given us some interesting results. So let's see if Shanghai will deliver like 2011 real season did and give us a cracker of a race. And finally, good news in practice 1. I was happy to jet over and look at my engineer and see that we have an R&D objective, and it's the R&D I really badly needed. It's the throttle map setting, and got lucky too that it's the fast throttle map, because sometimes you get the cruise throttle map before you get the fast, and that would kind of be pointless, but it's worth a good second on pretty much every track, fast compared to standard settings. So I'm definitely good. It's going to help out my qualifying. It's going to help me out in the race. And it might even let me run out of fuel at some point, which isn't going to help me out, of course. So we're cruising through Q1 in P10. I think I did that on the primes. Just save the option tires a little bit. Getting into the groove. Q2, we get a nice time. P5, that's the highest I've been this season. 135.731. Vettel dominating, almost half a second up on Webbo. And then we're into Q3. Like I said, I'm not showing you guys the laps, so it's a little bit slower than my previous time, but I wouldn't have beaten Massa with it. So we're in P7, the season's best qualifying, so yep, always nice. Like I said, if you guys really want to see the qualifying laps, I can always put it in. Right now I don't, because there's already a pretty long race at 40% and stuff. I don't want to make these vids too long either, but if you insist, I might put the quality laps in as well. Here we're having a quick check on my setup. It's very different than what I use on online. Usually you can fairly easily port them over to the Lotus, but yeah, it just wasn't working. My online setup was not working for this track. I had to change a lot of stuff. It just wasn't working with the Lotus as it does online or in Grand Prix mode. Practiced a lot for the league races, which I stupidly missed out due to timing issues and well, the man's the wife he made. So here we are, going to the race. Checked out our race strategy. We're supposed to come in at lap 7, starting on the option tire, of course. There's a new Pirelli mod out that gives you the stripes, but I'm kind of waiting to put another one, because in Turkey now, this weekend, finally, stop jonesing for F1 and have a real race this weekend. Pirelli's going to bring the final markings. I think they're just going to make where it says Pirelli now, it's going to be like a yellow band or a colored band depending on which tire you're using. So we are on the grid. Oh, got to finish higher than my teammate. He's down in P19, Rob. Stop talking gibberish. So Massa's on our right. There's what was that? Webbo in front of it? No, that's Vettel. Only qualified in P5 after his good performance in Q2. Didn't even notice that. So everybody running away from us, but I brake pretty late into the first corner, and that's going to help us out here. Retaining P7 and finding a gap somewhere. Yes, we find the gap on the inside, and whoa, look at that. Jetting ahead of everybody right there. From P7 up to P4, maybe even P3, we got Alonso. Yes, Alonso slots in right behind us. And Button got past Alonso as well, apparently. But I was really struggling with this corner. Really struggling. I just couldn't get the balance, brake balance right. I had it work down to a T in Grand Prix and online mode, but just couldn't get it to work with the Lotus. Just losing the back end on the braking, no matter how far I put the brake balance to the front. And the AI are really fast through those 2 corners we just did. Very, very tricky to get through there, but something must have happened there, because a big gap opened up behind me. I don't recall them hitting into my back, so probably just an AI spin out. That was another corner I had a lot of issues under braking, just the back end stepping out, and I tried to adjust the brake balance, just put it way front, but then the car just wouldn't slow down on time, and I just kept having the rears lock up. I had to change brake pressure from hard to medium, because well, with the hard you can brake later, but there's a much bigger chance of you locking up. Chicane didn't pose me that much trouble. Well, hairpin didn't pose me that much trouble. So, but how about that for a first lap from P7 on the grid to P3 and the start. So this might be shaping up to be a pretty good race here. We have a big gap to the ones behind us due to that incident, whatever happened there in the back with either Button or Alonso. But we got now Massa in 4 and Rosberg in 5, but he's already 5 seconds behind. But as usual with this AI mod, I just cannot keep up with the pace of the front runners. I'm trying my best, but gradually you already see I'm not far from being on Webber's tail here, who is looking to put in a good performance for the first time this season, because that's been pretty hard for him in game as in real life. And there we go. First time the rear stepping out on the braking, and that gives a wide open door to Massa, which is a shame, very big shame. You'll see me playing around with the wing settings a lot on this track. I find it's one of the tracks where you can really benefit from fiddling with your wing, putting it up in the twisty middle section we're in now, and then of course just dropping it back down for the long back straight and then home straight. It's kind of, you can choose. Sometimes I put it up in the first corner, just before the first corner. Sometimes I only put it up by turn 6, where that, you know, that twisty long left-hander, followed by the pretty tight right-hander. So it depends. So here I always put the wing back down. I think I didn't actually do it this lap. Didn't put it up actually in this stuff. But I usually do fiddle a lot with wing settings on these kind of tracks. It's basically a hallmark of the toolkit tracks, really. You know, long straight, hairpin, Mickey Mouse section, long straight, hairpin, twisty, finish, Herman Tilke. We've done it again. Made another circuit. Well, Turkey's coming up, which is supposedly one of Tilke's best tracks. I would more say least bad. Yeah, okay, there's the turn 8, famous turn 8, which, like I discussed last season, they should really have come up with a name for it. Some people suggested the Diabolica, which I like a lot. That's good for me. That works for me. So I'm going to call it Diabolica. But yeah, okay, that's a pretty awesome corner. But for the rest, I just find it a pretty boring track, to be honest. I've had some decent races on it. Last year, well, it wasn't that good, really. If it wasn't for the Vettel-Weber incident, it would have just been another procession. 1-2 Red Bull and nothing happening. You know, there was that incident, I guess, yeah, that made it exciting. But, yeah, who knows this year, though, with DRS on that final straight, that could be interesting. See how that pans out. And, of course, the tires. When you can see here, look at my left front, it's starting to wear. Got some blisters showing up. Rosberg has closed that 4-second gap we had on him in 2 laps. He's right on my tail right now. Someone else is right on his tail. So we're starting a little truly train here again. The leaders are long gone. Look at that. Hamilton, 8 seconds in 3 laps. Just cannot compete with the top runners in dry conditions in this Lotus. It's much better than it was last year. And I just remembered again, I didn't check what I did last year as for times. It's pretty silly. Pretty silly. I keep forgetting. It's something I said I would do in the beginning. Yeah, I'm gonna check what my times last season was to see the improvement in the Lotus. I did check back after making the vid. I think it was from Melbourne, and I was a good second faster than I was last year in the Lotus. So definitely some improvement. So we managed to keep Rosberg behind us. Even managed to make a little gap to Rosberg. And we're at lap 6, and yeah, the tires aren't going away or anything. But I had a little gap, and I figured, you know, I saw on the mini-map there was quite a gap behind. You know, I wasn't going to come out in crazy traffic. So you see the options are only on yellow. But I figured, yeah, let's go in there. I locked the tires, go into the gravel trap, pull a Lewis Hamilton in 2007, where he lost the title foolishly. But luckily the AI takes over for us because we're all retarded and we can't drive a car straight into a pit lane and then to a pit box. At least that's what CM thinks of us, I think. And also I have a nice clean pit lane. Nobody here to mess with me. Nobody to get in my way. So we have a pretty good pit stop at 4 seconds. And of course we're going to feed in quite back at the field. But look at that. You know, I found myself a nice piece of clean air. So that's actually not too shabby. Button's way in the back, so he's already pitted himself as well. Maybe he had to pit after the incident he had right behind me with, I think it was coming together of Alonso and Button there, when all of a sudden that gap freed up in lap 3. So we're in P20. That's not looking too great. Of course, everybody else in front of me still has to pit. And here we go, back end steps out yet again. That corner, I swear, man, if I could just scrap it all together from the, from this track, I would love that. it just feels so out of place to have such a slow corner at that point. I don't know. And I take it fine in my online setup, but I just could not get the braking right on in the Lotus. I don't know, it just wasn't working. I did have another R&D upgrade that said like increased brake responsiveness or something. I didn't have an R&D test for it, but you see that sometimes when you have the tip screen, the loading screen, and then all of a sudden, I think it was after last race, it says new upgrade, improved brake responsiveness. I'm like, oh, alright, that's cool. But finally we got the fast engine mapping, which is cool. I'm always very conservative with this because, well, I prefer to finish 3 seconds slower than I could have, rather than finishing half a lap down because you ran out of fuel on the last lap. On this track it's important to gear right. My gearing on the fast mode, I hit the rev limiter in the end a bit, but I hear people, they're halfway down the straight and they're already hitting that rev limiter, and you're seriously hurting the lap time with that. So make your 7th gear is set up right. So we're going down the pit lane. There's a lot of people in the pits. Might jump everybody and their mama here, but no, there's Kamui. And Kamui, wow, that's blocking, man. I mean, that's a penalty right there. He just shoved me straight up the road. That was a steering movement. Let's take it to the stewards, right? That was not cool, Kamui. I'm a big fan of you, but that was not cool. And that leaves Button on my tail going wide into turn 1, which is big shame. Not of my fault this time. It's a tricky corner, turn 1, but this time, yeah, I just have to take avoiding action. Should have just rammed into the motherfucker. But yeah, Kobayashi does that. At least gain us 3 spots, but I'm kind of getting nervous because there's pretty big gaps and stuff. The field is pretty spread out here. Doesn't seem to be anything, and just Button is just pushing us, driving clean around the outside, but managed to keep the gap closed here. But Button straight on our ass, and there's again someone right on his ass that looks to be like one of the Renaults, Petrov or Kubica, of course. And yeah, Rob doesn't get that I just pitted, so he's telling me to pit again. Like, shut up, man, I just came in. The tires are still cool, man. There's no refueling, so there's no point. Don't have a flat, nothing. I was surprised that on top speed I could compete. There was nobody really sailing past me. I mean, now we have Button behind us. Wasn't sailing past me. There you saw a bunch of people, if you were watching the mini-map, coming in too. That was a bit of a moment here, but I managed to keep it on the road. A bunch of people coming into the pits, but I was still on a back straight, so I'm hoping here I can do enough and get ahead of all those people, at least get myself in a point scoring position. Gotta be honest, if I look at this Lotus performance and my limits of my abilities, I think realistically, and there, bad mistake, bad mistake, managed to keep it on the road, but again, turn 1, and it's a turn I'm usually not having problems with. Did have problems with this. It was a bit sloppy here, wasn't 100% focused in the race. Yeah, like I was saying, I think the Lotus as it is now, taking my skill or lack of those into account, I think it's a point scoring car, but with the AI mod and everything, I think anything from, you know, 5 to 10 is a realistic thing, and everything that comes above that is a win for me. You know, that's really what I'm gunning for. Realistically, you can see when I managed to get up to P3, there's no way I can keep up with the top runners with these AI mods. It's such an awesome work they did. As most of you suggested, I'm not fiddling with the AI difficulty. I just put it on Legend. In the AI mod, I mean, as well. Just put it on the hardest difficulty possible, and you know, just bump my head into there. Like I suggested last time, I could tweak it a bit if you guys want to see me fighting for wins, but general consensus seems to be you want to see me struggling like a pig. So thank you guys for that. Thank you for not giving me the opportunity to slow down the AI. It's all cool for me. I mean, I like these kinds of battles. The only thing is a bit frustrating is whoever seems ahead of me seems to streak ahead of me, and I'm like, for the whole 4 races we've done now, I've been fighting mainly defensive battles, and I haven't really been going on the hunt for whoever's in front of me. Maybe I have to enable catch-up once, not catch-up, but the catch-up file, which the mod allows you to disable. I don't know, maybe I should. Yeah, if you guys have any insight on that, but I just seem to be unable to catch whoever's in front of me, but I am able to keep whoever's behind me as long as I don't make stupid-ass mistakes. So we're up in P10. That was a Toro Rosso of Alguersuari coming out of the pits right in front of our noses. So, yep, there goes that strategy. Not jumping anybody here. We're still in the point scoring position. P10, 23 seconds behind Hamilton, so the win is long gone, that's for sure. The skies are looking nice and clear, so no rain coming to save me this time. Didn't need it that much because I for once didn't botch the pit stop. Well, if you don't count the locking up the wheels going into the pits and shit, but that's all details, right? So we're still only halfway through this Grand Prix, and yeah, things are looking to be an uphill battle, you gotta say. So while things are calm, let's talk about Real F1, right? Yeah, Turkish Grand Prix. Talking about Williams announced today that they were gonna make some sweeping changes in their staffing. Sam Michael's gonna go, and Patrick Head's gonna retire. Pretty much everybody knew that was coming, but I guess now they have an excuse to really kick him out. But yeah, it's sad to see such a great historic team like Williams struggle like a pig. If you don't get the reference, I think Barrichello said that in the Honda days on some team radio. Struggling like a pig. I think he did that on Interlagos, maybe 07 or something, and had his crap car. And let's see if anyone in the pits. Nope, nobody in the pits. And I was reading on the F1 Fanatic website. There's a guy who bought the 2007 Honda. He was in an auction for $35,000, maybe pounds. It's a big difference, but it's still not as much as you would expect for an F1 car. It's got everything on it except the engine. No engine and ECU, but still, I mean, awesome. 35K? That's fucking amazing. Here, look at Augustwari there. Yep, still ahead of us, but actually managed to keep pace, and it looks like we're catching the two guys in front of us. So that's not bad. So this guy has this project with his girlfriend, who's actually going to be racing the thing at some local track. And wow, look at Button just driving clean around the outside. If anything, I was thinking about tweaking that corner with the AI mod, because they just had too much grip through that corner. But here Button somehow, I don't know, takes a defensive line or something. So it gives us an opportunity to try and go around the outside. Look at that. I missed the braking. I go wide on the braking, and that leaves the rudderless Russian. Oh, you gotta hand it to Martin Brundle. That was the most awesome comment when he saw, you know, the whole Malaysia incident, the Dukes of Hazzard moment Petrov had. He had like his steering wheel, steering column break off. But here, I ain't having none of that, Vitali. There you go, squeezing you out, but boom, look at where the hell did he come from? Yeah, it looks like the AI mod did give some extra traction on to the AI when they go offline a bit. I think it's necessary, because otherwise speeding them up and stuff, and then they'd go offline, they would probably just spin out all the time. But yeah, it makes a bit of cheating. Yeah, the rudderless Russian. So we're not giving up the fight here. We can actually keep up with him and even do one better. Bam! Clean round the outside on turn 1. But we're still out of the points due to that big mistake I had trying to repass Button. Mistake I did too is I forgot to turn up my wing and going in there. So I definitely like the downforce. And again, you feel the back end slide, and you saw me correcting the steering. You don't always need to do the brake slams trick to correct the spin. You can, if you're quick enough, correct the spin just like that, and you lose a lot less time. But it needs a pretty quick reaction time. But yeah, out of the points, P11, round 12, lap 12, and we got Barrichello on our ass. So Petrov is crying to his mama for getting passed around the outside on turn 1, I guess. Tires are good though. I mean, this Chinese track seems to be very kind on the tires in the game. They're surely going to have to tweak that next time. It'll be surprising in Turkey as well how these tires are going to hold up. Pirelli are taking a step back already though. They have new hard tires in development that they're going to get to Catalonia for the race after Turkey. And they're going to be a bit harder, going to last... well, Paul Hembry of Pirelli says that they're supposed to last 2 or 3 laps more than the current hard tires, and have a bit less degradation on them. I think it's a good thing, because right now there's not much difference between the softs and the hards in terms of how long they last. It's just the hards are much slower than the softs, but they don't seem to last much longer than the soft. So really to have a good, and look at this, oh, look at the cock up. So thank you, the AI gods, give us a little room here. We might get Button again, our foe this race. Really been in close company with Button. At least we gained 2 spots due to that big incident. That's Augustwari behind us now. So that was Toro Rosso. I think that was Rosberg or Schumi. And Button all caught up in that incident. And we're the laughing third here again. So yeah, like I said, I think it's a good thing they're going to be changing the hard tires to be a bit more durable. Because basically now all there is just slower tires, but they degrade pretty much at the same rate from what I've seen. I mean, it's also because drivers want to get rid of that stint on the hard as fast as possible. You saw Weber coming on lap 10 already on the hard tires when he started on the hards in China, just because he just wanted to get it done and over with his stint on the hards. And oh, sorry, I had a little interruption. But yeah, we're not going to be catching Button anytime soon, it seems. We're 2 seconds adrift already while we were on his tail earlier, you know, when we had the old big ass incident. Yeah, I did less cutting this lap, but I found this edit, but I found it hard to really edit this one well, because there were like separate little moments all the time, and we needed to keep a flow here to the stuff. So you're seeing a lot more in the race. In the end, it's going to cut down a bit more because there won't be much happening after that. But up to now, it's been a pretty tough race. I've been sweating my balls off right here. That's for sure. Working hard, just working really hard to try and get some good points on the board. I mean, we're up 14, so most of the people who started on Prime should have pitted by now as well, or if they haven't, they are going to pit this lap. But I don't know if there's still a lot of Prime runners in front of us. That's a good thing about doing the longer race distances. You can really what the hell? Yeah, okay. The longer race distances, the field spreads out more, pit stops become less frustrating, and you get less weird results like when a prime runner doesn't pit. I've seen a lot of people complaining that AI doesn't pit, and you know me, I've had a lot of complaints about the game and how look at August Wari go around the outside, look at the grip he has there. But yeah, I'm having none of that. But I haven't never actually seen the AI not pit. Might have happened already with some of the weird results we've had with Degrassi and the points and stuff like that, but I haven't really seen it happen yet. You can see the track is rubbered in quite nicely. Another thing these Pirellis don't seem to be doing at all. These just seem to be, all the rubber that goes down on the track is in the form of marbles next to the track. It's going to be tricky because, you know, how it affects overtaking. And yeah, now we skipped a bit ahead. It's past one guy in the pits and might pass another one in the pits. Yes, we do. And that puts it up, logically, that should put us up at P6. But then this happens. Again, a big cock-up again, losing spots to both the Toro Rossos. Oh, big shame. The Toro Rossos edge ahead of me again, and that was just purely my fault, lack of concentration. I'm not too happy with my performance at this point in the race, I must admit. Kind of pissed at myself. By my calculations, I think if I hadn't made those cock-ups, I would have probably been in P5. Maybe even P4 we would have gotten lucky, but you know, that's racing as well. You gotta take it's not necessarily bad. P8 definitely isn't too bad yet. I'm still thinking I can do some damage on tracks like Monaco. And especially Catalunya, which is coming up after this. I hope the AI mod also tweak that and actually slow them down there so I can have a fighting chance on that track. So I'm going to pick up points there maybe that I didn't have last year. And seeing how the results vary so much, we might even have a tight championship on our hands. Although I wouldn't hold my breath for it. If we have a lot of dry races like this, I'm going to be boned. And wow, is this... Okay, that was a weird edit. I just cut out the last lap. I had a little editing issue, but still nicely chronologically. And yeah, just as I said that, we're back. Yeah, we're back, still editing, back on the back straight in lap 17. So we're still chronologically. It seems I just forgot to put in the transitions, which isn't too clever, but shit happens. It's still lap 17. We're in P7, so we did pass someone in the pits, that's for sure. Oh, and we got Alonso on us. Look at the speed he got out of that corner. Look at that. But I'm sticking to the inside line, and I'm trying not to make the same mistake this time. And just clean push him to the outside, and now hug that apex so can't take the undercut in the inside and stay again hugging that apex and keep him behind us, at least for now. Yellow prime tires, but nothing too worrying, you know, as long you can drive on orange tires fairly well. Look at that, R in front. I'm defending from Alonso, and there's Alguersuari, and Alonso just rammed straight into him. That finishes his race. And look at that nice cushion given me here. And nothing really happened then. I got up to P6 after that spin. I know you guys like seeing the spins. This one was maybe a bit far ahead, but it's true. Last week, last session, the Hulkenberg spin was pretty awesome. But here again, it throws me a bone, and at least I'm up in P6. Should have been up on Buemi as well if I hadn't made that one lap mistake. But yeah, it was a comfortable last few laps. That's why I cut to the rest, because you saw the huge gap that roadblock Alguersuari put up. So I had a nice manageable gap. Petrov was catching us a bit, but nothing too worrying. And actually still not that far behind the leaders. So there we go. That's the final home straight. And there we are. And yep, he's still pretty happy. He's still in his Lucas de Grassi helmet. I should put in the quick Nick Heidfeld helmet again. I really like that one.
Sixth position. Nice drive. Well done.
So, Mr. Eyebrows in P2, he finally manages some good point score. Hamilton in P1, of course, and Massa and Kamui in 4th. Man, can you imagine if I could have kept them behind me or stuck with me? Yeah, realistically, I think I could have been P4. So I'm a bit disappointed with my performance. I could have done much better. I just didn't have the focus throughout the race here. Like I said, trouble with the rear stepping out on the braking. But in the championship, it doesn't bode too bad. I'm still just 2 points behind, only now it's behind Hamilton. In P3 now, so, well, we're scoring some good points. We're keeping points on the board. Got some nice, yep, we finally got our new R&D upgrade, of course. So, yeah, who knows? Everything might happen in this season. My strongest tracks are still coming up. So, who knows? Who knows? Everything may happen. And I'm hoping this aggressive car development R&D path is gonna pay off and get this Lotus up there. And there we go, boom, 23 reputation. It's going slow. It's going slow. So there we are. No interviews, of course. Didn't get on the podium, and nobody there seems to be interested to talk to me.
Steve.
Motherfuckers.
Nice driving.
Yes, Francoise.
A point's finished.
A point's finish.
Very
I'm a
good.
WDC woman. Should be like, oh, I'm sorry you only got 6th. But there it is. That was the Chinese Grand Prix for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it very much. It was a tough race for me, but it was still enjoyable to do the racing. Next up, the dreaded Catalunya. So let's see how the AI mod is going to fix it. Let's hope so. Otherwise, I'm in for a very frustrating 40% race. Probably 2 laps down by the end of it. So until next time, always like, comment, subscribe all you want. Follow me on Twitter at TheVillainF1. Until next time, peace out.